Hello and welcome to the show. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Listen, this is about the Power of Giving series, and we've been having a great time. I always tell you, if you have a story that you want us to share, please send us an email at info@tammymccountry.com. Well, I've got a great show planned for you. Listen, I can't wait. We have Mariann Aalda, actress extraordinaire. I tell you what, when you hear about her, you're going to be like, yes, I remember Mariann. I remember Dee Dee. I remember everybody. And also, we're going to have the comedian, Paula Payton. She's going to join us. And I tell you what, like I said, we've got a great show planned for you. So I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. It's coming up next. The Curry Insurance Agency has served the community for over 30 years with hundreds of trained representatives to assist you in selecting health plans. Curry Insurance Agency is the largest marketing insurance group in the state of South Carolina for Medicare Advantage and represents all major health carriers. Annual enrollment for Medicare Advantage is October the 15th through December the 7th. Curry's motto is people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. Call Curry Insurance Agency today at 803-536-0889. Welcome back to the show. Well, I am excited because Lord, I tell you, we've got a wonderful show. So, I always talk about what's on my mind. One of the things that's on my mind is basically about the Omicron virus. When I tell you this is COVID, the COVID virus, but it's the Omicron variant. Now, I'm a microbiologist, and one thing that I always say is viruses replicate, and it seems that this virus is replicating pretty quickly. I want you all to be safe. Please remember, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands. We still have to do that. Still need to keep things clean. As I remember Dr. Smith always telling me, viruses replicate. And the one thing they love are dark, damp, and dirty places. So keep that in mind. And always, as I said, look out for your neighbors. Bless each other. It's always great to be a blessing to somebody. And we have to remember to do that, especially in these days and times. Okay. So if you do that for me, that's what's on my mind, as well as a bunch of other things. But I want to get to my guest today. Wow. Actress, writer, producer, beautiful woman, just a lovely person. She's known for being on shows like The Royal Family, and then, of course, the hit soap opera, The Edge of Night, where she was Dee Dee, and how I remember that so well. So without further ado, I want her to come from backstage. Come on out, Mariann Aalda.
Hey there, Tammy. How are you?
Hey.
I was just listening
Fine,
to you.
how were you?
I am just great. I was listening to you talk about the Omicron virus, and that viruses like to replicate in dark, damp, and dirty places. That's going to mess up a lot of people's sex lives, isn't it? Oh, did I say that?
Yes, did you say that? Mariann, I tell you what, you are so funny. And I just want to thank you again for being on the show. I mean, from the first time I talked with you, how warm you are and just loving. And I love you so. And I just want to say, if it weren't for women like you, I wouldn't be where I am today, just being able to even have a show and talk to you and learn from you, glean from you. So I want to get started, Mariann. I just want to tell us a little bit about Mariann and how you got into the industry, the entertainment industry.
Well, I when I was a little kid, I wanted to be on the Mickey Mouse Club. I was born in 1948. And so I was a kid. I grew up in the 50s. And back in the 50s, there weren't a lot of people who looked like me on television. But Annette Funicello was a Mouseketeer. And, we had a black and white TV set. And she was Italian. So she had darker skin and dark curly hair. And I'm a little kid. I thought, oh, if she could be on TV, I could be on TV. I learned all the songs. Wait a second. Today is Tuesday. You know what I mean? We're going to have a special guest. I mean, I knew all those songs. Okay. And the thing that I do a lot of motivational speaking, and the thing that I say to young people, And also, like, to Tiana, your, producer, young producer who's in college now, I say the secret of success is to dream a really big dream. Don't be practical. Dream, imagine, because if you can't see it in your mind's eye, you can't possibly have it. So
Mhm.
do reach for the stars, because I say if you reach for the stars and you don't quite make it, at least you'll get to the moon.
Mhm.
And the irony is that the edge of night used to come on right before the Mickey Mouse Club. And God's got a sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
I never got to be on the Mickey Mouse Club, but of all the soap operas that I auditioned for, I got to be on the edge of night. So I aimed
Mhm.
for the stars, I made it to the moon, and the moon ain't half bad. So I say,
Mm.
dream your big dream. And then from there, I did plays in high school and in college. I went to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. I toured with the Southern Illinois University touring theater program. When I moved to New York, I studied at the Negro Ensemble Company. I was the
Mhm.
last group that went through the conservatory program. It was a 2-year conservatory program. Lawrence Fishburne and Robert Townsend were my classmates.
Wow.
Yeah, and we, I there were ups and downs. I did off Broadway theater, way, way, way off Broadway. I just continued to practice my craft.
Mhm.
And I think, oh, and this is something too. When I was in college, I had a double major. My concentrations were in theater and also in journalism. So the first thing, and nobody in my family was in show business, so they thought, well, that's kind of strange. I mean, you want to get cultured, you take class, but you don't
Right,
try to
right,
make a living
right.
at it. And I was a unit publicist at ABC in New York. So I worked in the publicity departments, and I was being very practical. But I was married, and I got pregnant. I was off on maternity leave. I auditioned for a theater company, the Off Center Theater Company, and they had a contract with the Parks Department for the city of New York for $75 a week and all you could beg in the street. I auditioned for that company. The first acting professional acting job that I auditioned for, that I was getting paid for, wasn't much, but I was getting paid. I
Mhm.
got it, and I thought, I'll never go back. This is what I'm going to do
Mhm.
forever. And I think that I made it when I got married. My husband, when I got married, I was working. I was a working woman,
Mhm.
and I decided that I was not going to go back on that contract. He
Mhm.
married a working woman. If I was going to be an actress, I was going to be a working actress who made money.
Mm.
And I think you need that mindset. There's this whole myth of the starving artist.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you don't have to starve. Who said that? It
Yes.
doesn't it doesn't have to be either or. It can be yes and so you just have to make that decision. For example, when I got to be an older woman and Hollywood wasn't calling me as much, I started doing theater and doing solo shows, and I hired myself. You have to have an entrepreneurial um,
Spirit.
spirit and mindset and
Mindset.
understanding
Mhm.
of how the business works. You have
Mhm.
to be, because in order for me to do the thing that I love to do, I got to do my business.
Right. Right.
You have to
Right.
know who your market is, who your audience is, who you're serving. And I knew that, and I continue to know that there is a market of mature women who do not see themselves represented on television the way that they see themselves.
Mhm.
So that's my audience. That's who that's the demographic that I want to represent. Mature. I'm 73 years old.
Ah.
And okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of the scripts that I get, she's one of the characters, one of three C's. She's a curmudgeon, she's
Mhm.
crippled, or she's crazy. And I think, you know, the majority of women, mature women, are not like that. And crippled, curmudgeon, and crazy is not
No,
aspirational.
that's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
We
That's
want to
right.
be all that we can be. We want to be vital and vibrant and alive. And when I was a young actor, back in '70s when I had auditioned, sometimes I would get the feedback, well, you're not black enough, because which
Mm.
meant I wasn't street or hood or whatever.
Mhm, mhm.
I, you know, for me to play a stereotype of black, I don't have to play black. I am
I'm
black.
black.
That
That's
would
right.
be redundant.
That's right.
So when I get a script that says they want an old woman, it's like I don't have to play
Oh,
old. I am old.
oh,
I can just be me.
right,
So I
right.
have always been feisty that way,
Uh-huh.
and and eventually I think I've always been a little ahead of the curve, but I think that that Hollywood will finally recognize that women over the age of 50 control 70% of the wealth in this country.
Exactly.
We, you know, we have money to spend, and if you want me to spend my money, then you have to accommodate my needs.
That's right. That's right. Well,
So
that leads me into when you said 1948, the first thing came to my mind was, oh my God, she is actually 73 years old. And you are fabulous. You look
is it
fabulous, Mariann.
okay? Wait a
So
second. Hold on a second. Here you go. Here's my driver's license. Can you see it?
yeah.
Okay. How old does it say I am? Yeah.
But Mariann, you've been doing your TED talk and you talk about aging shamelessly.
Yes.
Talk about that brand because you really started that. And I love the idea that you talk about aging like, well, it doesn't matter how old you are. Um,
Oh, it doesn't.
you can do whatever you want to do at the age of 60, 70, or 80, even 90 years old. Look at Betty White. Um,
Absolutely. Betty White is about to be 100.
exactly,
You know,
exactly. And
and
so, talk about your brand and why you really started that, talking about aging shamelessly.
okay, but first of all, I want to say one thing about Betty White,
Mm-hmm.
because we just said Betty White is about to turn 100.
100.
And look at her. I truly believe that the way she got to be 100 is that she continued to pursue her life and the things that she was curious about. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? She never
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing what it is that she loved to do. She never said, "Oh, I have to retire." If she had, she'd probably be dead by now.
Like
You
the rest of
know?
them.
You
Yes,
know? But
yes, yes.
she has a reason to get up in the morning and to do that. Oh, okay. So how I started my brand of aging shamelessly. I made a great living as an actress for about maybe 30, 35 years. And then when I hit my 50s,
Mm.
early mid 50s, the casting directors just stopped calling me. Well, those casting directors had been in the business as long as I had, so they knew how old I was.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just it's like, well, what do we do with her? She's old now. My agent suggested that I gain 50 pounds so I could do more character work, you know, because
Wow.
it's like, oh, she was a pretty girl. Now she's old. So what do we do with her? Uh so anyway, so I think actors have a natural curiosity about human behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So and I whenever I had a problem that I needed to solve, I would go into therapy. A couple of times cognitive behavioral therapy, short term, figure it out, move on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to train as a therapist. And I was very interested in hypnosis and the subconscious mind, because sometimes, you people do things and you wonder, why did they do that? They're not being logical.
Mm-hmm.
They're being emotional, and that's what drives our behavior. So I trained at the Hypnosis Motivation Institute in Tarzana, California. It's a year-long program. And for the second 6 months, it's a residency program where you see clients under the supervision of another hypnotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
And most of my clients were women in their late 40s, early 50s, and my age, a little younger, and they were suffering from depression.
Wow.
And these were in Tarzana. The women that were coming there were from Tarzana, Encino, a very wealthy
Mm-hmm.
uh, part of Los Angeles. So these women had money, they had status, but they were depressed. They were empty nesters. The kids were getting ready to go off to college. They were depressed. They didn't know what to do with themselves. They felt that their lives were over because, well, now they're old. What are they going to do? And I realized that rather than hypnotizing them, I had to dehypnotize them from the trance that we are all under, that women lose value and social and sexual currency as we get older. We've been hypnotized by the media and
Mm-hmm.
advertising and culture, and we bought into it. Funny thing, actors tend to be highly suggestible. So as I was giving my clients the positive suggestions, my subconscious mind was taking in the suggestions to the point that if I was telling them that they could go and do and be, I thought, what do you really want to do, Mariann? Do you
Mm-hmm.
really want to be hypnotherapist? I'm an actress. That's what I really want to do. So my very first solo show that I did was at the auditorium, the school auditorium in Tarzana, and it was called "Snap Out of It. You've only been hypnotized into believing you're over the hill."
Wow.
And from there, I began to collaborate. I collaborate with Iona Morris,
Mm-hmm.
and we have taken several shows to the National Black Theater Festival. And then Iona wanted to pursue directing. And she, at the age of 64, she won't mind if I tell it. If she does, it's too late now.
Too
I'm
late
sorry.
now.
She's been directing a lot of theater, a lot of one person shows. She directed
Mm-hmm.
Michael Collier's show, Jennifer Lewis's show, Blair Underwood's show, and had been working as a dialogue coach on Blackish, and she did her first independent short film a couple years ago, and she let them know. And their last season of Blackish, she got a chance to direct an episode of Blackish. She was
Mm.
put into the ABC Disney First Time Directors Program. And, and I'm sure because she's a fabulous director, when you see the episode, it's the second to the last episode of the show. It has so much heart. It's a wonderful
Mm.
episode. And I'm sure she's going to be directing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But she wanted to direct. And so I said, well, I'm going to continue working, on the show that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I play a
Mm-hmm.
character. My performance art character is adult sex ed evangelist and mojo motivator, Dr. Ginger.
Dr. Ginger.
And it's when people come to the show, the premise is that they're coming to my workshop. It's kind of a takeoff on those PBS specials with Wayne Dyer and
Yes.
Christiane Northrup.
Yes.
So the Dr. Ginger talks about sex and the older woman and how to maintain your vibrancy and vitality. And the last time I did, well, no, the second to the last time I did the show, because it got picked up from the National Black Theater Festival and I did it in New York, but it broke a 30-year box office record at the National Black Theater Festival in Winston-Salem, because I know that audience. It is, a lot of Black professional women,
Mm-hmm.
older women, and what is this myth that you get old and then you lose interest in so many things, or it's time
Right.
to slow down?
Right.
Why should we slow down? If anything, we have a lot fewer obligations, family obligations and work obligations. It's time for us to speed up.
To live. That's
Okay,
right.
absolutely.
Time to live. Wow. Mariann, just talking with you are such an inspiration. And I mean, just hearing you, and I'm energetic because now I'm like, okay, girl, you can do this. You can do that.
Absolutely.
You can do this.
Absolutely.
Just call Mariann. She'll pump you up to get you going. So let's talk about, you have done so much. I mean, you've been involved in every aspect of the industry, from filmmaking to writing to producing to acting and directing. Which is your favorite? Which do you like the most?
All of it. No. Okay, if I had to pick one, it's interesting that you should say that because for the last several years, I have been doing my solo show. Did it in New York, did it in Chicago, New Orleans, and I had this realization that I did not become an actor to be a solo artist. I love collaborating. I
Hmm.
love working with someone else on stage. Now, when I am on stage doing my solo show, I make the audience my
Hmm.
scene partner.
Hmm.
So I interact a lot with the audience, and I consider what I do my ministry. There are a
Mm.
lot of different ways to minister to people.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be religious. You
Right.
minister to people's hearts and their souls and what they have need of so that
Yes.
you can lighten and enrich their lives and make them feel better about themselves. So that's
Hmm.
that's what it is that I do. And I really think the industry is starting to recognize the value in stories with older women.
Hmm.
Um, when you look at, well, so many of the actresses that are working now, like Nicole Kidman and I think Reese Witherspoon is in her late 40s. I don't think she's 50 yet, but there are a lot of older actors. Jane Fonda,
Jane Fonda.
Lily
Yeah.
Tomlin,
Exactly. Exactly.
but there is still kind of, I would say, women of color, ethnic women are still kind of ghettoized,
Mm.
in terms
Hmm.
of a certain character,
Hmm.
that we will play. We still aren't, it's like, there's a stereotype of the strong black woman. So we
Right.
got to be strong, or we got to
Right.
be this, or we're going to be the advisor to the friend. Why can't I do comedy? Why can't we be silly and frivolous and fun? Okay,
Exactly.
why
Exactly.
why do we have to fit one image? So I'm serious about my comedy, okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I like to do the comedy, and I think we're starting to do more kind of comedies like that too, that are smart and funny.
Hmm.
You don't have to give a message. You don't have to hit somebody over the head with it. Well, like Blackish. Black is a typical show like that. You get a little,
Exactly.
you walk away, you feel a little something good about it.
Right.
After you watch that show,
Right.
and it's getting ready to go off the air, so they're going to have something to replace it. Um,
Something. Maybe Marianne, it'll be your show. Something.
Hello,
Okay. Something
from
that.
your mouth to God's
That's
ears.
right. That's right. And I want to be a part of it. So just call me.
Okay. Well, they have to. Hollywood has to call me first, and
Yeah,
then I'll
they
call you.
look, they're calling you. They're
Okay.
calling you. So Marianne, what are you currently working on that you can talk about?
Well, I just, uh, I moderate a lot of rooms on the social media app
Hmm.
Clubhouse,
Yes.
and I, I didn't know what it was. I think I started in February of this year, actually, and I tend to be in two groups: the women over 50. I go in and I motivate and moderate groups like that. I have a club on Clubhouse, Aging Shamelessly, uh, because I want to take the shame out of getting older. I announce my age.
Hmm.
Women would lie about their age and they're coy. Well, how old are you? Well, why do we do that? What are we ashamed of? We don't want people to know how old we are. Like I say in my TikTok, it's not a disease. It ain't cooties. You know, we want to get older. It's like the anti-aging cream. Do you know what
Not
anti-aging
aging.
is? If you do not age, you die.
Exactly.
That is ridiculous. So,
Exactly.
I have a room on Tuesdays on Clubhouse, Aging Shamelessly, that I co-moderate with Kara Masteller. She's 27.
Hmm.
She's a gerontologist, and we have an intergenerational conversation about getting older.
Mm-hmm.
because younger women are concerned about getting older too. There's a lot of ageism in the marketplace in corporate
That's
America.
right.
And so they're concerned about, oh, what is it going to be like when I get old? It's going to be fine, okay?
Right. That's
But
right.
it's a mindset. It really
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I would go into that group, and then there's a new group of young Hollywood, the new Hollywood. I would go into these rooms and I would preach the gospel. I would say, according to a 2017 Federal Reserve survey on consumer finances, women over the age of 50 own 75% of the wealth in this country, and baby boomers control 70% of the discretionary income in this country. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Federal Reserve survey. I
That's
use
right.
those statistics in my TEDx talk, and a lot of these young people weren't even born during the heyday of my career. But thank you to cable television, you
Hello.
know, because it's like I am always on. I have Xfinity is my cable
Mm-hmm.
company, and so I have set it. I can set it so that whenever Mariann Aalda is in the cast, it
Yeah.
DVRs it, and
Yeah.
so it's like Family Matters,
Oh yes,
you know,
my favorite. I
Family
love that.
Matters. I'm on
Yes.
Family. I played at Sherman Hemsley's
His
crazy
girlfriend.
this stripper
Remember
girlfriend.
girlfriend? Yes, I remember that.
There's the Parkers. I go toe to toe with Monique at the book
Monique.
club.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's Designing Women because I played,
Yes.
Anthony's Yuppie from Hell girlfriend. The movie
Mm-hmm.
Class Act. I play Kid's mom in
Mm-hmm.
in Class Act, and that's always on. And during the holidays, The Wiz is on, and I'm in The
Oh yeah.
Wiz.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
a lot of these things keep coming around and coming around and coming around, and younger people, all these children love Class Act. They say, "You were kidding, Mama?" Yes, I was kidding. So, uh, and one of the young writers and producers, Gino Brooks, has
Mm-hmm.
a company called The Artistic Standard, and he um, got some money to start a mentoring program for young writer directors of color.
Mm.
And he DM'd me like back in August, September, and and he said, I remembered what you said. I was listening, and I think I have something for you. He sent me the script. I love the script. It's called Gumbo. It's going to be on AMC's All Black network streaming in
Mm-hmm.
sometime in 2022. But the interesting thing is, he cast me. He was the producer. I said,
Uh-huh.
well, you know, I have to talk to the writer director the who wrote this. I said, you might pick me, but this is her baby. Let
Exactly.
her let or I'm sorry, this is their baby, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because her name is Jess Waters. Their name is Jess Waters. She identifies as a non-binary queer Black woman. And when I read her bio, it said that as a queer Black woman, she is very, very aware of the need for positive representation.
Mm.
In her script, the character that I was to play, Nadine, 60 years old, but 60 years old. Okay.
Mm.
She comes to the door in a moo.
Oh.
So I asked Gino to set up a Zoom call with her. I said, so they get on. I'm still trying to get my pronouns correct because
Pronouns.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to honor people
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the way they want to be honored. Um, and I asked them, I said, I went online, I Googled you. I read what you said about wanting to have positive representation as a queer Black woman. I said, baby, I'm an old Black woman, okay? And it is very important to see positive representation. I said, 60? That's not old. Can she be 73? Can she be my age? They said, yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
And I said, and you have her. The first thing we see of her, she's wearing a muumuu. Really? I said, can she be wearing yoga pants, a tank top, and a kimono?
Hello.
They said, yes, ma'am. I said, then we got a deal. And and when we shot it, we had a wonderful conversation about the fact that even marginalized groups don't recognize that they continue to marginalize older
Older
people.
people. Yes,
And
yes.
the thing, the irony of that is that I don't care if you're non-binary, cisgender, if you're black, if you're white, I don't care what you are. You're gonna get old.
Old. Exactly.
Old is the common denominator for everybody.
That's right. That's right. That's right, Mariann. Wow.
So, right.
Yeah, I tell you, we can talk all night, Mariann. You met the comedian that's coming on next, and I tell you
Yes,
what,
I did.
I love it. I want you to come back on and talk with us because you have so much to tell, especially to young people, young aspiring actors and producers, just like you did with Tiana. And thank you again for that. I really, really appreciate it. So I do have another one last question for you.
Okay.
And I always ask everybody, because I'm putting this in my journal, I want you to tell me 3 words that describe Mariann Aalda.
Tenacious. I don't, this is a word that I'm going to make. I don't think I've read, it's not in the dictionary, but I'm making this word up. Heartful.
Okay.
Heartful.
Mm-hmm.
I am heartful and I love.
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 Tenacious, heartful, and love. Boy, Mariann, I tell you what, I am just excited. We didn't even get to show the video that we have of you. Will you come back next year?
I guess you're going to have me back then.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. And I'm going to talk with you on Clubhouse as well.
Okay.
Any last words that you'd like to say to the viewers? This is the power of giving. We're talking about the holiday season and what it means for giving. And you are heartful. Just your last words that you'd like
Okay.
to share.
You cannot give from an empty cup. So when you think about giving, remember to give to yourself and be generous.
Wow. You cannot give from an empty cup. But when you think about it, give to yourself and others.
And be generous.
And be generous. And be generous. Wow, Mariann, thank you. Oh my goodness. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Mariann.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for asking me. I know I was supposed to be on earlier in the year.
That's all
and
right.
I got the days messed up. I was sick. So thank you for being, great. God works in mysterious ways.
Yes,
I was supposed to be right now.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Listen, you have a
Oh
wonderful.
no, she does.
She does. Have a wonderful holiday season, Mariann.
Okay.
Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Okay.
Love
Bye.
you.
Okay. And hugs to Paula. Bye,
Oh,
Paula.
hugs to Paula. Yeah, Paula's coming
watching.
on. Yeah, she's backstage. She's coming
Okay.
on next.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Mariann. Love you.
You're welcome. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Wow, you heard it right here. Mariann Aalda. I tell you what, just a fabulous woman. She's going to come back on next year, so you got to tune back into the Tammy Show. I'm going to have Mariann come back on. Listen, we're going to take a break because next you're going to meet comedian Paula Payton. We got to laugh. It's time for us to laugh and have a good time. We'll be right back. The Curry Insurance Agency has served the community for over 30 years with hundreds of trained representatives to assist you in selecting health plans. Curry Insurance Agency is the largest marketing insurance group in the state of South Carolina for Medicare Advantage and represents all major health carriers. Annual enrollment for Medicare Advantage is October the 15th through December the 7th. Curry's motto is people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. Call Curry Insurance Agency today at 803-536-0889.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Welcome back to the show. Well, listen, now I got to sit back because we have none other than the comedian, Paula Payton, in the house. What's happening, Paula?
Nothing happening, Tammy.
Sitting in the fireplace.
I'm about to burn up, y'all. I am about to burn up. This is some real heat back here.
It really is. Listen, we're trying to switch this set around, you all, so that Paula could come on. Well, you know what, Paula, you're from Columbia, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your BS in animal science.
Oh, okay, that's right.
From Tuskegee.
That's right. I forgot.
And your MS in individual and family development from South Carolina State University. Now, how does all that fit with your career? How did, going from being an animal studies
Mm-hmm.
to now into comedian / recruiter, event planner / extraordinaire? How does all that play?
Because working with animals is similar to working with people. One has a language and the other one doesn't. And I have to fill them out. And, that's what I do with humans all day. So, it's all the same. It's all about biology. It's all about life. And, animals are life. People are life. Plants are life. Just being on this earth is life.
That's right.
And I did say earth, not earth. I said earth.
Well, like I'm telling you, when I first met you, we met years ago, and I'll never forget that day because I was telling you about getting particular jewelry. What you all don't know is we met at an event, and there was a time where they were giving away the gifts, and I knew what the gifts were. And I saw Paula walk in, and she was just this bright light. And when I saw that necklace, I said, and she was going to pick another box. I said, pick that one, pick that one.
She did. She did.
And then we saw each other again, 6 months later?
6 months later. And I was like, oh my God, like I've been looking for my best friend. Oh my God, you gave me the best piece of furniture. I mean, not furniture, but jewelry ever. I mean, it was loaded with these beautiful stones, and it was me. And I just didn't understand how Tammy knew me.
Yeah,
I just met her.
Yeah,
and she said that, she felt my spirit, Tammy is a wise woman.
Yeah, right. Try to be. But you know what, Paula? Talking about being a comedian, I always tell people that you are a comedian. Whenever you see her, I don't care what it is, she has something funny to say. And it's almost like, wow. So did you ever really plan to be this comedian? Were you always funny like this?
No, I didn't plan. Okay, I'm gonna answer the question. No, I did not plan on becoming a comedian. Like I said, when I was on the show last year, I just thought people thought I was a funny kid. I thought it was because maybe I walked a certain way or maybe I talked a certain way. And I would just say things like, a sentence, and people would like chuckle and laugh. And in the beginning, I thought it was me. Like, is it me? But no, they were like, oh my God, you're funny. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I just went with it, but never planning on becoming a comedian. And then people would say, oh my God, you're in the wrong business. You need to be on the West Coast. You need to be here. You need to be there. And I'm like, well, give me that in. But, since you see it. But no, and so therefore, that's how, Tammy and others say that I'm a comedian. I don't call myself a comedian because what I'm talking about is just things in everyday life, things that, when people say, hey, Paula, how you doing? My answer might be funny to them because I'm doing what I was doing yesterday. I'm living,
right?
And they're like, oh, that was a good one. Okay. it's just, I don't know if that's natural. It's
is.
not rehearsed. I know that much. It's never rehearsed. When Tammy asks me or introduces me and she's like, have you met Paula Payton, the comedian extraordinaire? And I'm like, oh my God. No, I don't see myself as a comedian extraordinaire, but then that's what I need to start seeing, because if others see it, I need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting it. But at the same time, it just always makes me feel a certain kind of way when someone's like, here comes Paula, she is such a comedian. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was just a person. But yeah,
you are. I mean, you really are. It's your personality. Listen, for you all to be here listening right now and listening to Paula, when I tell you, Paula, we've got all these people that are listening. Thank you so much, Michelle, for always tuning in. That's Tuesday Talks with Mimi. You know Michelle is a girl.
Oh
okay.
my goodness.
Hey, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. How are you doing today?
She said, hey, y'all.
It's good to hear from you, Michelle.
Yeah. So when we talk about that, we even got somebody here from Down Comedy. Oh yeah. So he said he left the green room. Thank you so much for joining us, Paula. You know who that is?
Who's that?
It's somebody says sit my A Down Comedy.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got, you've got a following.
No way.
You got to follow it. So you know what, Paula? This is Christmas.
Yes.
Or this is the season. We've been going through so much with COVID and everything. I wanted you to come on because this is my last show for the year to really just kind of lift us up. And there's so many things that we could talk about, and we don't want to make jokes about COVID now, people, no. But there's some things that came up in my mind and we were talking about.
Well, yeah, and I remember you had Mariann.
Yeah,
she was on before me, and I was listening to her platform and what her ministry is, and I just think that is a wonderful thing, because like she said, why is it that when someone asks a woman, how old are you, and you're like, excuse me. I know he didn't have my age, but you should celebrate that, because you've been living all this time and you're doing it and you're doing it and doing it and doing it well. So therefore, why not tell your age? And I just do these things in the morning, like I was saying earlier. Talking about aging, and for the women out there, these are some things you can do without having to buy a product or anything like that. But I always tell Tammy, when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is laugh at myself. And the reason I laugh at myself is not because I'm funny looking, but I do things in the mirror to help keep, the wrinkles from coming,
So what you do?
Well, I do these crazy things, like while I'm brushing my teeth, I might do because it helps with the lines in your neck. So, I know I look crazy right now, but you got to do, and you don't have to make the noise. And then, for the forehead wrinkles, those are things that you don't have to buy off the counter. They come right from here in your head. See that move by your head? So those are the things, that you can do. Because when she was talking about that, I was like, and I'm going to share and help with the ministry to help elevate the skin. Let's elevate the skin. Yeah. Yes, keep it from falling, but elevate the skin. So that's how, you can laugh at yourself in the morning time.
Oh, y'all help me, because I don't know if I can make it.
She gonna make it.
Well, listen, Paula, like I said, this is Christmas. Little children, they've worried about all kind of things. But tell me about, the reindeer and Beyonce, and why do reindeer like Beyonce so much?
What? Why do the reindeer like? Who doesn't like Beyonce? Because I know why the reindeer like Beyonce.
Why?
Because she slays.
Oh,
she slays. That is the reason why the reindeer like Beyonce. It has to be the only reason. I don't know where that came from. Tammy is thinking of things.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say because
she slays.
She slays. Yes.
You know what, Paula? There's another thing that I was thinking about that you talked about, because Paula was on a year ago the same time.
Yeah. And
we were doing the same type of thing. There was somebody that you talk about every now and then from your past. When you talk to this person, you really don't understand this person. And I don't know if you've seen this person during the Christmas season.
Oh Lord, yes, I have.
But this particular person, tell me about, because it's just so strange.
It's strange, but it's funny, and I always laugh when I bump into this person. This person isn't here where I am, but I used to work with her. I'll say that much. And yeah, it was funny communicating with her, because have you ever had a friend or a person that you worked with, and you're like, "Hey Tammy, how you doing? You know, you doing okay today?" And they go, "Oh,
Did you talk to this person during Christmas?
I did.
What were they talking about when they talk about Christmas?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, because I do remember I did call, and I was like, "Hey, I just wanted to call and say, Merry Christmas to you," and things of that nature. And she was like, "Woo, God, I was happy you called me, because I was like, I'm gonna call you, and the phone rang. I was like, woo. And I was like, what do you do? What do you do? I don't speak that language. I don't speak that dialect. So what I did was I just started talking like her, She was like, "Well, Aalda, what do you mean?" I was like, "Girl, girl, all right." And she was laughing, and she responded to me, and I don't know what I even said to her, but she responded back with an answer that I agreed with. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." What the hell did I just... But yeah, it's just funny how certain people come into your life. And that's about the comedy that's in your life. This is how you laugh every day, because I hate being negative, because I was told that, when you think negatively, that affects your skin as well. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you want to keep positive thoughts in there. And so therefore, you got to make yourself laugh. But yeah, I used to laugh at every moment of the day because of this person who had her own language. And, how y'all doing? Whatever. And then on Tammy, Lord, I know y'all got people like that. Y'all don't know what
they're just not saying it. They're not saying it. Okay, what's your favorite Christmas? What was your favorite Christmas time? The dinner time, holiday. What can you say would have been your favorite Christmas session, dinner, gathering?
Christmas is always fun when I gather with my family at the dinner table.
And what happened?
Because I'm not talking about people, but my mother is a great cook. But yeah, she's doing her thing now. She is, because I was raised on the microwave. But other than that, those dinners are always fun, because it's always something new. How many of you have had paella for Christmas dinner?
Paella?
Yeah, paella, the Spanish rice dish.
Oh, yes.
With the mussels and the shrimp.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're coming from, South Carolina, the South, Christmas should have some ham, some chicken, rice, collard greens, green beans,
potato salad.
But no, we come to the table with paella on Christmas. And we're a Black family, not Spanish. So, I'm just saying, those type of things are really funny when my mom just brings out these new dishes that we've never had. But this last Christmas was a traditional Christmas. We had macaroni, we had the rice, we had the collard greens, we had the roast. So, like I said, getting much better. But my favorite times of Christmas is when I try to recreate the Christmas story. I don't know if y'all remember that. And I was grown when I did this. So if you were over the age of 40 and you do some of the things that you do, then you should just be shamed to yourself. But you remember the Christmas story, Tammy? Uh-huh. When he stuck his tongue on the pole?
Yes.
Just to see
if it...
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I just wanted to see, And I knew it was going to happen, but I thought if I had oiled my tongue up a little bit, it would just slide off. So I'd be like, So, I'm talking and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm about to do it, y'all. I put some Vaseline. I remember I put the Vaseline on the tip of my tongue, and that Vaseline froze up like a ball. And I was stuck.
And how'd you get away? How did you get off of it?
Well,
Off the pole?
now which pole are you talking about?
Oh, jeez.
There's
I
been
know
plenty
I
of poles in my life.
How
Oh,
did you-
the ice pole.
the ice
Okay.
pole.
We had to do the little drop of cold water,
Mhm.
because if you do hot water, it'll
It'll
burn.
yeah.
But just the little drops of cold water to help unleash and peel my tongue off. And I had a little, it felt like when you burn your tongue with
Right.
hot scalding water.
Right.
It was the same
Oh,
kind of thing. But
Paula.
yes, those were some of my moments of funniness and things of that nature. But once again, I'm just a comedian in life. I don't come to the stage with anything, a whole show to give you. But if we're talking,
Mhm.
I got you.
And that's where you get your material from.
I get it from just talking to people. Yeah, just talking to people.
Yeah, because I know you got one on me when I as you said, I could switch how I switch because I'm Gullah Geechee.
Oh yeah. She do that all day, y'all. She gonna get you now. I don't know. You hear Tammy talking to me now, right? Okay. That is Tammy. The Tammy show, Tammy. That's the Tam show, Tammy. But when Tammy comes off of this, it's gonna be like, okay, Paula, go on over there and get there. Go out, do up and let door. I'm telling you, it is thick up in here. But yeah, I love listening to Tammy talk. She has her Gullah. Then she has a glamour, and it all just fits together. I just love listening to you do your thing.
I love talking with you, Paula. Listen, you have made me laugh more than you know, and some of the things that she tells me, I remember, and I end up laughing more and more and more. Brianna cracking up.
Hey, Brianna,
because she already know. I know. She already know.
Brianna,
she already know. So let me ask you this now. I got a question for you. It's about Christmas. What's the difference between the Christmas alphabet and the ordinary alphabet?
The Christmas alphabet.
Is there such a thing as a Christmas alphabet?
I got so many jokes for that, but I don't know if this is the platform for it. So a Christmas alphabet versus which alphabet?
The ordinary alphabet.
I'm gonna go with what is the difference between they don't well,
There ain't no difference.
Ain't no difference. Ain't no difference. Because I mean, I'm gonna spell Christmas Christmas. So how do you spell it for Christmas? Christmas. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. But yeah. Did y'all know that it was a Christmas alphabet?
Oh God.
And how does it contain?
I don't know what it contained, Paula. That's just a question that somebody sent.
Okay, all right. So ho to them too. Thank you for that question, that perplexing question that it didn't make any sense. But for any viewer out there, I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do for you, but I can't answer that question. Please send in another.
That's Santa. I'm telling you. And what about Santa Claus? I mean, this whole thing about Santa Claus, to me, Christmas is about the season of giving.
Yes.
It really is about the season of why. And I'm a Christian, so I know that Jesus is the reason for the season.
Right.
But people always want to bring in Santa Claus.
Where did he come from?
I don't know where
I think Santa Claus ate up the three wise men and just started giving the gifts that they started giving out, because I don't know who Santa Claus is. Santa Claus, where does he? I don't want to ruin it for anyone who has grandchildren probably viewing your show. I'm not sure. Yeah. But Santa Claus lives within. And I can say Santa Claus lives within the adults. I'll say that much. Yeah. Without saying anything at all.
I remember putting the cookies out. Did you used to do that?
Oh yeah.
Put the cookies out for Santa Claus.
And he come and eat all of the food.
Eat all the food that you put out. And I remember my dad used to say, don't put too much now, because Santa doesn't need. He got a lot of stuff that he has to make. So just take your time. How
did Santa Claus get down the chimney with a sack full of presents?
I don't know. They say he threw the sack down first and then he came down. Sometimes I heard Santa came to the front door.
See, he don't come to the front door. No, not anymore, because they got package pirates now. And they got the ring. So he can't come to the front door no more. That's probably why he's starting to use the chimney much more than anything else, because He a pirate. He a package pirate. He be taking other people's packages and putting them in his sack, and then he take them to other people's houses as if they wanted that. So that's probably, how Santa's operating these days. I'm not sure, but yeah. I always wonder, why couldn't he come through the front door? Why does he always have to break in through the chimney? And how come he's never arrested?
I don't know.
Because he's breaking and entering.
Breaking and entering, that's right.
And he's endangering animals, wildlife. He's got harnesses on. He got them flying in the air. Where's Peter when you need them?
And where's Rudolph? What does Rudolph want for Christmas?
A woman.
Oh,
a white Wanda the white-tailed reindeer. That's what Rudolph needs, because that's why his nose red. He ain't never had nothing.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
Okay, for the little children, listen, Tiana is cracking up backstage. For the little children that's listening, not Tiana, not you, but I hope little baby girl not sitting in there listening.
Well, I'm just saying, Tammy wanted to know what Rudolph wanted. I'm just speaking for Rudolph. He wants to. He's tired of hanging out with male reindeer. He wants to see Wanda the white-tailed reindeer.
And do you think, after Santa does all of this eating, do you think that Santa and the reindeers want to drink more coffee? Where would they go, even if they want to drink more coffee?
If they want to drink coffee?
Yeah, where would they go?
Who's
Santa? Mm-hmm. Where
Santa,
would they
and you saying the reindeer?
And Santa reindeers. They shop for coffee. Where would they go for coffee?
Oh, you so funny. I don't know where you pulling this stuff from, but you funny. Okay, so you said Santa wants some coffee, and so do the reindeer. And the reindeer fly high up in the sky with the stars, and they're all bucks.
Oh,
Starbucks. They would get their coffee from Starbucks. Yes. Starbucks, give me a call. I'm promoting.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was.
I like that.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I like where your mind was.
Yeah, Paula.
I was like, where is she going with Santa and coffee?
Paula can come on out with it now. So listen, Paula.
Okay.
Before we go, we've only got a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
I just want you to kind of share with the audience, what's the takeaway from this year? What's the takeaway from this year, and as we get ready for 2022?
The takeaway for me this year was learning myself, because I had time to spend with myself. I learned what all my weaknesses were. I'm still learning all my strengths, because sometimes some of my strengths were weaknesses to me. And I'm learning how to vibe with me, because I always was the kind of person who wanted to get to know people, get to know who they are.
Right.
And then when they're asking me questions, I'm like, no, let's just talk about you. You're more interesting than, but then when you turn it around on the other side and you remember all the comments and things that what they say to you, you're like, well, Paula, you do have, I think they're right. I do see what they see. I'm starting to see it, because I'm always the person. I'm never wanting to be in the limelight,
but you are.
But somehow I come out and I'm in the limelight.
That's right.
And the takeaway from this year is just I'm learning to love. I'm learning to like, even though I can't love. But I'm just learning so many things because of COVID-19, and also I'm gonna call it Christmas 19, because it's gonna put a virus in my pocket soon if I don't stop buying stuff for people. But COVID, the pandemic has just put things in perspective for me. And just like Mariann, I don't know, Mariann, I don't know why I want to say Mariann. I want to say Mariann, but Mariann, when she said it earlier, why is it that we have to slow down as women when we age?
Exactly.
Then I was hearing that backstage, and I was like, wow, she is so right. Which goes with what I'm saying for me, because, I came up on 50 real quick like this year. And in my mind, I was like, oh my God, it's all downhill from there. Why?
Right.
I'm about to slow down. But then when I heard that, I was like, you know what? she's right.
She's right.
I'm not gonna slow down.
Look at her, and she's 73 years old.
And I would
You
never,
know?
I would never think that she was
She
73
looks
years old.
fabulous.
She looks marvelous.
Marvelous. I mean, fabulous. And I can't wait to have her back on as well as you coming back on. And listen, if you want to get in touch with Paula, listen, you can email Paula. Her email is
pcpayton1006@gmail.com.
That's right. You can get in touch with Paula. I tell you what, you will not be
Gangsta
disappointed. Talking about being on stage, emceeing, whatever, just being there, being that true comedian. She just did something recently out at Camp Landy, and the folks were falling all over the place with Mr. Curry, and all. We appreciate that. So you know how to get in touch with her. And Paula, I tell you what, I am so proud of you, and I want to thank you so much
Tammy,
for being on the show, because it's hard to do comedy, folks. It's hard to get up here and make people laugh.
Yes, it is.
This is an art that you have to have. But the power of giving, this is the last show for the year. This is the end of my 2021 on the Tammy Show. And you may see some reruns as we are getting ready to go into the season of 2022. 2022. Paula, last question. What are the three words that describe Paula?
Giving, very, I can see it in my head. I can't get it out right now, but yeah, I'm a very giving person. I'm very friendly. I just love to love. Just love to love. I remember last year it was peace, love, and soul. And that's what I feel like I'm about. I'm about peace. I'm about love, and everything I do comes from my heart. I just love being on this earth. I just love being a human. I love being married. I just love every facet of life that God has made his plan for me. And if he has more, I'm ready for that too. But yes.
And we want to say hi to, oh my God, to TP. Oh, TP.
Hi, TP.
Hey, big bro.
That's my husband, y'all.
Yeah, listen. I tell you what, I thank you, Paula, so much for spending time with me on my last show. I love you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
When you tell me you want me to lift your show, I'm like, what? Oh my God. But we just want to have some fun.
That's it.
Some fun humor. That's it.
So I want to tell everybody, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much, Tiana, associate producer, executive producer, Alicia, listen, Catherine, everybody that's involved with the Tammy Show, especially the viewers, want to thank you for always tuning in to Tammy right here on YouTube. Remember, please hit that subscribe button. It's the Tammy TV Show. That's where you can find me. Otherwise, as I said, always remember, bless somebody today and every day. And don't forget, we've got a new year coming up. So when I see you, it's going to be a new year. Again, thank you for joining the show. Thank you so much, Paula. I want to thank Mariann as well, and everybody that has anything to do with the show. And of course, my staff, my team. Got it. I love you. Love you so much. I love all my guests that have been on the show for the year. And I wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year. Take care of yourself until I see you in 2022. Take care.
Happy holidays.
Love you. Bye-bye.